Hi, I'm Bill McDonald. St. Joe's healthcare system believes that all citizens need to be informed about the important health issues affecting their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Wells Fargo, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, making healthcare work, the New Jersey Education Association, working for great public schools for every child, New Jersey Council of County Colleges, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. And by Verizon Communications.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Hi, folks. This is One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. Let me introduce you to a gentleman who says that he's in the change business because he helps individuals and organizations try to change and do it in a successful way. He is Jeff Cohen, president of J.M. Cohen Associates. Good to see you, Jeff.
Nice to see you again.
Let's talk about the fact that you do executive coaching, team building, organizational effectiveness. You are in the change business. Right before we got on the air, we were talking about this, and I want to jump right into it. I said many organizations, organizational leaders try to pursue perfect or perfection. And you say that's a mistake because?
Because you won't achieve very much. You'll achieve a couple of things, but what you want to do is you have a whole panoply of things that you need to do. And if everything that you tried to achieve was toward perfection, you would be stuck in the water.
Well, then why not pursue excellence?
Excellence is good.
What's the difference?
Excellence is the best that you can do under the circumstances. So there are certain things that impact the way you can do things. And if you try to achieve excellence and set that as a standard or winning or use whatever theme you want to use, then I think you can achieve what you really want to achieve at the end of the day.
One of the folks in the field that you work in, and as you know, outside of my television work, I do a fair amount of leadership coaching.
I do know that.
Yep. And one of the people who I respect greatly in this field is Jim Collins, whose book Good to Great is a book that I spent a lot of time thinking about and struggling with. And one of the models, one of the examples he uses, or analogies he uses, Collins says, look at your organization as a bus, and you're the bus driver, right? Good to great, he looks at great organizations, and he says great organizations have great leaders driving the bus. But he also says that the bus driver has to occasionally get to a bus stop and ask, which members of our team do we need to get off the bus? Get them off the bus because they're not great players, not mediocre players. They're not great, and you can't be great with mediocre players, you say?
I say he's absolutely right. And the reason why is because the bottom of the pyramid, if you will, of goodness, of greatness, will pull you down. And you want to keep as many of the great team players as you possibly can. The other piece is they also should be team players. They also should be collaborators in this process.
And Jeff, in your world, the essence of great leadership comprises what talents, what qualities?
Oh my goodness.
Just give me top three.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what you said. You said being self-aware. Self-aware,
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I think that's really the first and the key element is to understand who you are. And I can use instruments or I can use questions or whatever the case may be to enable that individual to reflect on what they can or can't do and how they fit into the process.
Hold on, time out. Someone says, wait a minute, Jeff, this is who I am. This is my personality. This is the way I work. And what, do you want to change me? You're not going to change me.
I won't change you as an individual. You'll still be Steve Adubato at the end of the day. But what I do is I work this is you as the box, and I work around the edges of the box to help you be as good as you can be. And that we can't do any better than that. So that's the goal. And along there are a number of sub-goals. And we'll work toward those sub-goals in order to achieve that ultimate goal of being the best you can be.
You know, it's interesting, in your executive coaching, and because I've done and do a significant amount of executive coaching, one of the things that people who will bring me in to work with their company, with their individuals, will say, you know what, Jim and Bob, they're excited about the executive coaching, but Mary and Joe, they don't want to do the executive coaching, so I only want you to work with the people who want to work with you. And I'll say, wait a minute. You only want me to work with the people who are self-motivated to take a serious look at themselves, to be self-aware, to be self-critical, to accept the feedback from others. Wait a minute. The people who may in fact need the executive coaching the most, who are the ones who are saying, I don't want it, you're letting them not have it. You say?
I say some people don't want to be confused with the truth. And you have to work with those people.
How do you handle that?
Well, I say...
someone says, I don't need it, Jeff, I'm good. I'm good. I'm sure you're good at what you do, but I don't need it. I don't need it.
We sit down and we talk about what you want to achieve in your career and in your life and in your home. And part of that is going to be to improve. Eventually we'll get there. And I'm going to help you improve. I'm going to help you be effective. And I'm going to make your life easier. Initially, we're going to work hard, and I'm going to give you things to do, some homework assignments, etc. I'm going to ask you to fill out a diary. I may shadow you, but at the end of the day, you're going to be better than you were when you and I started, and that's great. We all need to continue to learn and stretch.
Devil's advocate, Jeff, but someone's saying, yeah, but Jeff, you're making me fill out a diary. You're making me uncomfortable. Yes, I want to change and I want to get better, but I don't want to do these things you're asking me to do because it's outside my comfort zone. You say?
We always have to do things outside of our comfort zone in order to stretch. If we want to stay where we are and remain stagnant, and if that makes you happy, then by all means, don't use me.
So what about people who say to you, and I often get this a lot, people say, if only my boss were different, if only the organization saw my value, if only everyone around me could just get me, you say?
You have to learn how you're impacting them. And sometimes you may not be in the same wavelength as they are, and therefore you're not communicating how really terrific you happen to be. And I can help you do that, first through self-awareness, and then secondly through developing some skills.
In terms of deliverables, a lot of times clients will say, all right, Jeff, I'm sure that you make people feel better about themselves, you challenge them, but I'm looking for deliverables. How does one know that you have in fact helped someone make these changes and affect the bottom line of a corporation or organization?
Okay, so there are two ways. The traditional way is to do a before and after measure in terms of something we call a 360 feedback. We ask everybody, tell me about Steve, and we get some answers, and then at the end of the process we'll do the same thing. I think we need to take one more step, and that's to look at some of the quantitative measures that are out there.
How do you quantitatively measure leadership effectiveness?
Well, because you can see how the organization has changed and the impact that organization has impacted. There was just a brand new study, just literally within the last month, that the return on investment for executive coaching is between 5 and 7 times the investment. And
is that right?
That's on a worldwide basis. So some professor did a meta-analysis and put this information together, and literally it's hot off the presses right now.
Depends upon who that coach is, right?
Of course.
Depends. By the way, tell folks how they get to your site. What is it?
jmcohenassoc.com.
You still love what you do. You're still making a difference, and we appreciate you coming in. Jeff Cohen, President, J.M. Cohen Associates. We appreciate you sharing your perspective on leadership and change, and the fact that if we choose to stay the way we are, but somehow expect the world and everyone and everything around us to change because we want it to, that's delusional. Thank you so much, Jeff. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Good stuff. Stay with us. This is One-on-One. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you very much.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Visit us online at oneonone.org, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD.
like some people, like my mother, she was very smart, but due to the lack of money, she couldn't go to college.
Imagine being a senior, who cares, you know, you're gonna drop out, you could drop out.
In my neighborhood, there's a lot of gang violence. Since my parents are immigrants, they look for me to have a future, and they want me to succeed.
People, when they look at us, they don't think that we can succeed, and I want to overcome that. I want to say I can do it.
It's good stuff. That is from the Rutgers Future Scholars Program, and the gentleman who knows all about it is with us right now. He is Courtney McAnuff, and he is Vice President of Enrollment Management at Rutgers University. Good to see you, Courtney.
Great to be here, Steve.
That program is a program that is led by Rutgers in which communities throughout the state?
Camden, Newark, New Brunswick, and Piscataway, Rutgers home communities.
Yeah, and the young people we see here, they represent students who might otherwise not have certain opportunities, right?
That's correct. They're all low-income students, many families on public assistance, some wards of the state, public housing, students with potential that we identify in 7th grade along with the school districts.
So interesting. I met you on a tour. I took my son on a tour of Rutgers a few years back. He chose to go to a different institution, even though Rutgers is one of the finest places around. Great, still a great deal. But I'm curious about this. A lot of these students who become part of this Future Scholars Program, I ask myself, what kind of impact does this have on their lives and on their futures?
I think it's a phenomenal impact. Our goal really is to, one, graduate high school, which in many of those districts doesn't happen at a very good rate, and two, get them into college and to change the lifestyle trajectory.
How do you do that? Like, what do you actually do in the program?
Well, starting in 7th grade, the students come to campus for several weeks in the summer.
7th grade?
At the end of 7th grade.
You bring them to Rutgers?
We bring them to
and
Rutgers.
And what happens for a 12, 13-year-old?
Well, they get to actually pick some classes. So the biology class might be crime scene investigation, why the chicken died. But we try to get them excited about school. Whether it's engineering or math or science, there's some aspect, there's something that turns them on. So they may take a ballroom dancing class or hip hop class as part of Mason Gross.
School of Mason Gross, an extraordinary school of the arts, right?
What excites them? And we just try and ring that bell for those students. And then it gets more rigorous and more academic every year. They come back every summer. Rutgers provides academic coursework during the summers. They will all enter college with 9 to 15 credits. And
they come in with credits?
They will come into college with credits.
One second, Courtney. Are they accepted into Rutgers just because they stay in the program?
They're not. They have to earn regular admission, and that's what they're told in 7th grade. There are no special corners cut for them. If they don't earn regular admissions, they cannot go. But if they do earn regular admissions, they will go tuition free.
Now, that's the part that's so interesting to me. Rutgers, while I still said it's a good deal, it's not cheap.
No, it is not.
It's just compared to the privates, you know, the cost. How is the program funded? Who funds the program?
The program is primarily funded by private donors. Our biggest contributors are AT&T and Merck Pharmaceuticals, but we have a large number of foundations and many corporations and private individuals.
Why would they care so much about this?
I think they see the issue in their community, and Camden is Detroit, it's South LA, it's Hialeah, Florida. What we're trying to create is a model that may be replicated throughout the United States. And so we're very carefully documenting Future Scholars, what works, what doesn't work, and how other communities and universities might duplicate that effort.
Well, I want to be clear. You're saying while you're proud that it's called the Rutgers Future Scholars Program, you don't see why this could not and should not be a model for other institutions of higher learning across the country?
I think it should be in every research university across the country and most regional universities in this state. Just imagine if we could take 200 kids at every public university in this state and really give them a chance to go to college, a very strong chance, low-income kids, what a difference it would make to the state.
I'm thinking about this. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in New York City.
What part?
I grew up in Queens. I went to college in Manhattan. But I went tuition free. Without that option at City College, I would not have gone to school.
When you look at these kids, what do you see?
I see unbelievable promise. And what stands out to me is how bright they are and how we could be wasting half these kids in these school districts. When you see 50% graduation rate, what's wrong?
50% graduation rate in their high schools.
In some of these schools,
So
yes.
they will go through the high school experience. 50% of them will not graduate.
That's correct. And the future is extremely bleak for those who don't graduate.
Describe that for folks who may not understand. The vast majority of our audience on public television, respectfully, because we know the demographics, from an economic and from an educational point of view, they'll have a hard time relating to what you're saying right now. 50% will not graduate, and what will happen
schools,
to those children?
Many of them,
Those young adults,
especially minority males, end up in jail at a great cost to society, a great cost to the state, and a tremendous cost to their communities. In fact, if they go to college at all, the likelihood of going to jail decreases significantly. Our economic impact study shows that for every 200 kids in Future Scholars, the state of New Jersey will save about $30 million.
This is personal for you.
It is. It is. And I think it's just a critical role for public universities to make sure that access is given to all citizens of the state, no matter how poor they are. Because they're bright, they just need an opportunity.
The name of the program is the Rutgers Future Scholars Program, to break the chain of poverty, offering academically ambitious. By the way, how do you define academically ambitious students?
Well, we work with their 7th grade teachers, and we ask for students who show promise, not necessarily great grades, but who you think are quick and have promise and meet the low-income first-generation standards, and let's take a shot at helping them through.
And it's not an accident that you've picked Newark, Camden, New Brunswick, communities that Rutgers is very much a part of.
That's correct. We're part of those communities, and we can make a great difference in those communities.
And if people want to find out more, Courtney, about the program, how can they do that?
futurescholars.rutgers.edu on the web.
Got it up right there. Courtney, I want to thank you for what you are doing at Rutgers, and we in fact hope that it becomes a national model for others to follow. It's a great model. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. This is Steve Adubato. This is One-on-One. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you, Courtney.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Visit us online at oneonone.org, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD.
There she is, Pamela Rose, certified life and career coach. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
How
are you?
I'm doing great. You need to be more enthusiastic.
Okay.
You were just telling me right before we came on the air, because I was arguing with you that one of your bullet points that we'll get to in a minute is that you can't change, that people can't, you can't change people.
Well, you can't change another person.
But I said, yes, you can.
Yes, and I said, that's baloney.
No, it's not what you said. You said something that was more forceful, but I got the point. Can we first understand, before we start putting up these bullet points?
Sure.
Life coach.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck does it mean?
Well, it's funny because I came to life coaching before anyone knew what a life coach was. And so when I came to my life coach, that's exactly what I asked her. And she said, well, basically what it is it's kind of like a champion in your corner to help you to make life work more for you.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. So much of our lives are us working against ourselves. And the thing is that life is now so complicated. I swear it's these phones and the internet has made, yes, on some level our lives easier, but in a lot of ways it's made it much more difficult from a human perspective. We've become human doings instead of human beings.
And by the way, before we go any further, the name Peter?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was named after my mother. That's the short story.
Full name?
My mother's full name is Petronella Gerardina van Vloten. That was her original name.
Somehow I knew that.
Yeah.
And the background is?
My mom is Dutch, and there was a German carnival song called I Have a Sister Named Peter, so her original name of Petronella was shortened to Peter because she was born during World War II.
You have
during
an
the
amazing
Nazi
story already.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
How about this?
Yeah.
I try to figure out the difference between, in the life coaching part, where you help someone says, look, I've lost my job, or my job stinks, I don't like it. Be lucky to have a job, first of all.
Right.
But here's the other thing. How much of what you do is for someone's life, they're out of shape, they want to get healthier, versus my job sucks, whatever it is, how much of it Or is it both?
I think it's both, because I think you have to take it from a whole holistic point of view. You need to find out what somebody's values are, and then you need to also find out what it is they want. Because it's sort of like this. It's like, well, if you and I want to go to Alabama, let's say.
Yes.
Why
would we, by the way?
Why, I don't know.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But the thing is, we could get in the car, but we would drive south, but we don't exactly necessarily know where we're going.
Right.
What a life coach does and what I do.
Don't you need a plan?
We need a plan. You need a plan of action. And so what we do is we find out what the goals are, what do you want to do, and then we set up what I like to call action steps, and that is what you need to do by the next time we have our next session.
So why don't we do this?
Okay.
Why don't we put up some of these very specific and precise recommendations that you make?
Okay.
Let's go with the first one, team. 4 strategies. Put them up there. I'm going to put my... Close your emotional windows. What are we talking about, Peter?
So what we're talking about here is that I kind of one day I was looking at my computer and I noticed I had all these programs and they were all open, but they were all reduced. And I said, you know, this is like our problems in our lives. It's that email that you have to write that you don't want to write. It's that phone call that you need to make. It might even be cleaning out your closet. It could be anything, or it's that you need to lose 15 pounds because your doctor told you your health is in danger. These are things that if we don't deal with them and we don't start to take action towards them, what happens is they take up battery life of our bodies. It's like our own battery life. Do you understand what I'm saying with that?
Sense.
So this is the thing. If we have all these little programs, what happens is that we start to get very depleted. And then what that does is that contributes to low self-esteem, because we start beating ourselves up. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. You know, I'm not going to the gym.
I'm not this, I'm not that. And we lose track of what we are.
Of what we are, exactly.
How, you got me thinking right now. I don't like that you're doing that.
Good.
No, it's not good.
It's not good?
I'm happy with my life and I don't like you doing that right now. Stop doing that. Let's go with the second one. You ready?
Yes.
Go to the second one. Plan out your day the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I wake up and simply say, all right, today's a great day.
Because
I'm going to do what I'm going to do today.
You're already in it. See, if you plan out your day the night before, what you do, and there's three parts to this. You plan out your day the night before, and what you do is you schedule. Then the next day, after you've scheduled, what you need to do is you need to obey your schedule. That's the toughie. And then at the end of the day, when you schedule your day for the next day, you need to evaluate. But this is the whole thing. While scheduling, you need to remember this one rule, which is more time, not a problem. Less time, a problem. So you want to make sure, like, for example, getting here today from New York City. Now, obviously this is an interview. I wanted to make sure I got here on time. So I give myself a half an hour buffer. It said on, my Google Maps, it was going to take me 40 minutes. But I actually put an hour and 15 minutes just in case something happened.
I got to work on that.
Yes,
we all do. It creates all kinds of pressure and stress because I'm cutting it way too close.
And again, going back to our first point, what that is that becomes another window that's open. Because that stress of, okay, now I'm rushing, we have a problem then.
But here's the other thing that's not in your list, and I'm curious about this. In my list, every day, doesn't have to be written down, I have to work out in the morning at a ridiculous early time in order to be here.
Right.
You work out. Is it written down?
Absolutely.
Everything is
you
write it down?
I write down making my tea and feeding my animals in the morning.
Oh, stop it. Then where's the spontaneity, Peter?
Well, okay, but the spontaneity...
What do you write down? Now it's time to be spontaneous?
No, but in the buffers.
I'm afraid of what you have on your list now. You're concerning me. Are you really saying that you have make my tea now?
Well, not make my tea, but it's like, what I have is like, okay, wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 to 7:30 is time to make my tea, say hello to my husband, ask him how is, what are you doing today?
You put in there, pay attention to your husband.
Well, no, but I create the time for it because that's what's
What happens if you don't?
Well, then,
What happens if you don't create the time for it? Weeks go by, months go by, you haven't done it, bad things happen.
Well, I was married for 10 years, so then I probably wouldn't be married for 10 years because I wouldn't be spending time with my spouse.
All these people who say, we don't talk anymore.
Exactly.
We don't spend time together.
What
happened to date night? Couldn't they use a plan?
Absolutely, absolutely. But this is the thing, you schedule in the fun as well. Not only the things you do, you schedule in the fun. Remember, there's balance here.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Okay.
Because I have a plan.
Human beings, besides human, you want to be a human being, not a human doing.
Oh, hold on. You just can't drop a bomb like that. Real quick, a human being, not a...
Not a human doing. You want to be a human being, not a human doing. We're doing so much, we're not paying attention to who we are as individuals. And like you said, this is probably why the divorce rate is what, over 50% right now.
Ready
because we're not spending time.
I have a plan here. You're messing up my plan.
Okay, sorry.
Go up with the next one, Georgette. Are you going after what you want or what you think you want? What's the difference?
Oh, that's a biggie. This has to do with ego. Okay, and I deal a lot.
I'm sorry, you're talking to me?
No. You seem like you're okay. I'm not so
you
sure.
said ego, and I just paid attention.
Ego, okay. See, this is a great subject. Okay, so excuse me, ego. Well, we're dealing with: are you going after what you want or what you after what you think you want? I work with a lot of artists and a lot of people in the entertainment industry, and the question is that if you're going after what you want, like if you're, let's say, an actor, if you're going after what you want. Is it that you have a passion for the acting, or is it that you want the self-acceptance?
Good one.
And this
What's the difference?
Huge difference. Because first of all, the entertainment industry is an industry where you're constantly faced with rejection. So it's kind of like you're going to the hardware store for lemons.
I'll give you an example. So I love doing this. I love doing my PBS work. I love what we do here.
I can tell.
It's great. But I still have a connection
I love hammering it out with you.
But sometimes I have a connection to some other folks. I'm like, where's that network call? And I get it sometimes you don't get it.
Where's that network?
My point is you're still pursuing other things in your head that I go, you know what? I don't really want that. I just want them to call me.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? That's ego. But this is what I love. We have to make a difference. We have to understand the difference between what we really love and what we think gets us.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's say, I'm just going to take you. Let's say all of a sudden, I don't know, NBC, some huge network calls, but you get a bigger job, but you're not enjoying it as much as this. So what's the better job for you?
The job you enjoy.
Exactly.
By the way, will you work with me?
Yeah, of
I know
course
it's hard
so.
to improve on perfection, but we could work together.
We can work together.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Wells Fargo, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, New Jersey Council of County Colleges, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, PSE&G, and by Verizon Communications. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.
New Jersey is a leader in solar power, and PSE&G is doing its part. With 24 solar installations in New Jersey, projects that are giving landfills new purpose and turning former brownfields green. Solar powers more than our homes and schools and businesses. It powers our economy by creating jobs right here in the Garden State. PSE&G, proud to support New Jersey.